All right, another shift done, eh? Oof, and on the way out, let it go bucketed on. Oh. Going on from yesterday's conversation about that dude that I saw, I've given it more time now. I've had more time to process it. And I think I'm leaning towards believing that that guy was actually on something. And I don't mean to say that to belittle anyone or to say that I'm a black pillar or whatever people call people that say that you can't do this stuff. But now that I've kind of processed a little bit, yeah, that is a very large back. Now, I want to say this. When you are 160 centimeters, it is easier to make yourself look bigger because there's a smaller frame. This guy was 6'1". He's my height. And he was that large. That is lots of tissue. That is lots of muscle. To make a taller guy look big, you essentially need a lot of tissue because you're dealing with a larger surface area. And I think that was the last thought that kind of sold it in my mind because, you know, usually, I mean, there's one guy that works with us. He's an orderly, you know, the people that move beds and stuff around and help cleans. And he's a small guy, like shorter guy. And he's got these jacked freaking arms. And every time, you know, I see each other, we say hi, we talk about training, blah, 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 blah. But I said to him last time, I'm like, man, your biceps look like enormous, man. Like you're really, really looking top-notch upper body. He said that he benches like 120 kilos, I think, from memory and stuff like this. Not bad for somebody that weighs probably 70 kilos or something. So very, very impressive. But he's a smaller guy. And I find that a lot of smaller guys have an easier time to fill out. This guy in the storeroom yesterday, dude, he was jacked out of his freaking mind. And he was like, I think a finger or two taller than me. Like he was big dude. I remember like he bent over, putting this box down while we were talking. He's like, man, I've got this freaking neck that's bothering me, blah, 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 blah. And you could see the separation between the teres major and minor and the freaking lat. Like you could see there's a lat there growing. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible for a 6'1" dude to be absolutely jacked out of his mind. I'm not saying that at all. But like if you had to bet, you would probably bet that this guy was on something. Which, besides the point still stands is, do I want to look closer to that or do I want to remain kind of like this? And I'm not saying that I don't have any freaking muscle. There is muscle on me. There's for sure muscle on me. Like, I'm not sad about it, but it's like, you know, what do I want to emphasize for the next 5 years of my life? You know, I'm 37 now in a couple of months. You know, interesting enough, today I saw something. Actually, there was a conversation in between the nurses. I think it was yesterday or today. Was it today? Might have been yesterday, but I saw something today because the phones freaking listen to you. And so every time you go on, it recommends the stuff that you've been talking about. And it was something about when men become parents, fathers, how testosterone drops by 30% with children. And so that belly fat, that body, that could be explained simply by endocrinology because there is this evolutionary process that happens when you become a father, when you become a parent, where your testosterone drops. And so it's obviously when your testosterone drops, it's much harder to kind of keep that composition that you really want. And same with women, you know, it's evolutionary process because higher testosterones make the animal more likely to kind of chase a different mate, a different partner. And evolutionarily, we need to stay with our young, you know, in order for the existence of humankind to go on. Like, you don't want the parents to run off mating with whoever. You want them to stay and protect the young. So maybe that's an explanation as well, that it goes into all of this stuff. So I mean, I don't know if that guy from yesterday was a parent, but dude's like, you know, 40 if not more. And so to have somebody that size, that age, that tall, that is very, very impressive. Like, you start to add all these things up and like, okay, something is interesting here. I'm not saying genetic freaks don't exist, but like, if every other guy on YouTube is a genetic freak, what are we doing here? Like, it's like every other guy seems to be jacked, or are they all just fake natties? I don't know. But the point still stands with me. Like, what do I do? Like, right now, I'm supposed to go home and attempt to squat something like 5 plates. I am still freaking sore from Saturday's workout. My adductors are still sore. What am I doing? I am still sore 7 days on. There is no point of me trying to do anything today. In terms of, it's not going to be impressive. I know it. Which is something that I found out as well when I was doing the last peaking phase. is that I was getting 7 days wasn't enough anymore for me. It was becoming more and more difficult for me to recover from that. So maybe I skip today, maybe I'll do back today or something, I don't know. I'll do something different, and then maybe on Sunday or Monday I'll do legs or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know what to do right now, because it seems like the stimulus that I hit my legs with is it's outgrowing the 7 days. And then also last night I saw a video by Tom Platz talking about how he used to squat once a fortnight and deadlift once a fortnight. Obviously, once again, the rules change, but maybe there's a point where the stimulus that you got going on right now is excellent. It's just your recovery window needs to grow a little bit in order for you to continue that progress. So maybe my peaking block could have just gone on a little bit longer if I just allowed more recovery. If you think about it, it's a stimulus, and then you wait for the recovery. I'm still sore. I do not need any more stimulus right now. I know this. So go home today, get in the house, do the thing, blah, 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 do all that normal stuff. And then don't do it. Don't do the legs. I know my back is ready. My back's been ready for 2-3 days, but I need to do legs first in this training style program that I'm doing. So how do you run a back day every 5 days, a leg day every 10 days? How do you make all that make sense so that by the time you get to the leg day, you are able to perform and not be impacted by the previous stuff? So it's like you need a couple of days before leg day to be ready. I've had Wednesday and Thursday off, basically just light training. Today I was supposed to hit a heavy squat, tomorrow legs. But the timing is off. I'm not ready. So I need to reconsider everything. Basically, reconsider it all. And it needs to be more fluid. I'm trying to be rigid again. What I'm basically trying to do is I'm trying to recreate the program, the period that I had a month ago. But I think I've outgrown that, because the 7-day cycle that I was running, I think is too much, not enough recovery. Or do I skip leg day this week and give it 14 days? Go into a Tom Platz type of era. Do I do that? I don't know, man. So much to consider. But it makes sense, right? Somebody that squats 200 and somebody that squats 240, those are different poundages, different loads. Why don't you just freaking wait? You need longer periods. Either that or you need more dosage. Right? You need more dosage of drugs. And if that's not what you do, then freaking hell, the only thing you got going for you is recovery. Is rest. So you need more rest because you don't have drugs, so you do more rest. We're gonna get rained on here. Man, I love rain. I love rain, but I don't like to get rained on. Oh, what? Fucking hell. Well, we're stuck now. This thing is not allowing us to go. It looks like both. Oh, here we go. Sometimes you do shit that you don't even know why you do it. You're just stuck in this routine of hitting legs hard every 7 days, and you just it becomes gospel. You can't do anything other than that. Why can't you change? Why can't you give them a couple more days? It upsets the rhythm, it upsets the balance. Because ideally, if I hit legs today, it will be great because I've got Saturday and Sunday off. I'm not working on the weekend this week. It will be great recovery. I can rest more, at least. I don't have to be on my feet in emergency for freaking 10 hours a day. The worst thing I hate is having a really, really big session when that 10-day cycle ends on a work day and I have to go home after an early shift, after standing all day, maybe not in the greatest mood because it was busy, I'm just wasted mentally, and I have to go home and put a heavy, low bar squat on my back and deal with it. I don't like that. I'd rather, avoid that. Oh man, I even thought to myself about deadlifts. I miss deadlifts, man. I could do deadlifts, right? But that's a lot of adductors as well. Squats and deadlifts are cousins, man. They basically do the same thing, just slightly different. Shit. So what do I do? What am I gonna do when I get home? Still undecided. I'm probably leaning towards a back day. Go home and hit back. Do the rows. I even thought about doing barbell rows. Oh man, I thought about this last time I did back. What about if I did barbell rows and then I go over to the incline row, the chest supported row, and I do neutral grip and pronated grip. So on the barbell rows, I'll do underhand, and on the incline row, I'll go this way and this way. That would be really good, man. That's like hitting every position, and I'm hitting also a barbell row. That would be awesome. But then the question remains, what does that big Jack dude do? How does he get a fat back like that? Does he do the same work maybe I do, but he's just got a bit more support hormonally, and then he gets a better response? I don't know. Us natural guys, we sit here, we wonder about all these different things, and we go crazy, and we end up changing up every 2 seconds about our training, when the training was never really the problem. The training was never the bloody problem. It's what's separating us from all the other people is the fact that the other people are playing up different rules. They've got different supplements. This is where I get really kind of frustrated about the whole natty world, because like a lot of the people that we follow are bloody not natural, and so like you're sitting there, you're like, and then obviously the other thing is, this is the other thing that I think about, a lot of these guys that even you guys mentioned in the comments, they're like, Ivan, what about this guy, that guy, he's natural. Well, how many of them are 37 years old, and how many of them have 3 kids, and how many of them have all the stuff on the plate, right? I just mentioned that when you become a father, when you become a parent, your testosterone drops by 30%. How many of these guys have that? I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm not saying that if you become a parent, you can't do anything special. It's just, it's another layer to this cake. It's not just, what about that 22-year-old that sits and sleeps all day, makes videos on YouTube, and just eats perfect and sleeps perfect? Well, that's not me, dude. Like, I can't do that. But here we are, we're talking about it without even mentioning some of these factors. And then we start talking about exercise selection. The exercise selection might not even be the problem, but that's the only variable that we think is at play here, so we talk about this. That's another element to it. How many of these guys are actually living a family life? It's a point to think about. It's not just to say, nah, man, you're being a black pillar. I don't know, man. When you reach this stage in life, let's have a conversation then. Maybe you can still be jacked at this age while waking up 2 or 3 times a night for a crying baby, and then doing 30, 40 hours a week in an emergency department. If you still can do what you do and you still look like that impressive, my hat off to you. But we just need to be careful the way we address some of these things and how we compare different things. Because what you don't want the message to be is, no, your exercise selection is not right. That's why you're not getting progress like the other guy that you saw. You don't want that to happen, because I don't know, it's not the work, it's all the other stuff. But having said all of that, zoom back into my case scenario. yes, I'm almost 37. I've got 3 kids. I've got this, that going on. I'm working 30, 40 hours a week in an emergency department. How does a guy like me, how do I maximize my time? Oh my God, this is all stuck to me. How do I maximize myself? Do I get more recovery? How many of you guys right now listening to this think about me and go, nah, Ivan needs more rest. The leg day shouldn't happen today or tomorrow. It should happen next Wednesday. Why not? Why not do that? Because right now I'm just sitting here, I'm feeling my adductor. I'm like, yeah, man, that is fucking sore still. What am I doing even considering it? What am I doing considering it? Right? I don't know, dude. All of these thoughts, I'm sure, they're not bloody any different to what you guys are thinking and feeling. But we have to go through them. We need to kind of work it out for ourselves and progress somehow. One of you guys said in the comment, dude, if you just did some bodybuilding, you would long-term be stronger because you would have developed more tissue. Another one of you guys said, Ivan, as a natural, strength progression is the only way to get bigger. You need to get stronger as a natural. You can't not get stronger and get bigger. They can't work. You need to get stronger, dude. It's linear progression. Like, you just need to end up getting stronger and then you'll get bigger. You know, for a lot of people that made sense for a lot of time. And let's not, think that the last 5 years, the influences of the last 5-10 years are the pioneers of this industry and of this idea. No, they're not. People were getting strong much sooner in history. This is not like, oh, this guy contemporary right now, he's got it all worked out. No. Think about the guys back in the day who were truly natural and how strong they were. The best era to think about is it the silver era? Is that what they call it, the bronze era? Those dudes who before the drugs were invented. Some of those guys were really impressive. And so if you have any doubts about anything, think about those dudes. That guy is on a freaking farm. There is no pharmacy, it's like before the World Wars happened, this guy's getting jacked. When did steroids come up? Like in Germany, in before World War II, or was it 1930s or something like that? Oh man, why is it the case like this, dude? Like a bit of rain falls down and traffic stops. And traffic stops and you continue to go snail space. And then you get to these other spots that are now ahead of me and there is no car crash. There is no anything. But the traffic is slow. Like people just shit themselves and stop driving completely because there's a bit of rain. Incredible. Like this is usually I live 10 minutes away from work and it's gonna be a 30-minute trip. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna have to stop by the post office because I need to send something to Canada. Benoit. Is it Benoit? Benoit, I think. Got a sticker from me, so I gotta send that off. But Friday, rainy day, is gonna look like I'm gonna get home an hour later, man. But yeah, go to the post office, send this off, go home, change, and then I guess go do back day because my legs are sore already. But yeah, anyway, 20-minute video already, man, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna end it here, boys. I'll see you on the other side once I get home. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Today was supposed to be the day where I'm really fresh, so I can attack a single or 220 or 230 or something like that. But no, the adductors are still not right. I don't feel good, so I'm not going to train legs until I feel good. Now, obviously, what happened today screws everything up, right? Because now I'm jumping the gun. So now I've done back, which means I've got a fatigued back, which means that I'm not ready for a top single, which means, do I just skip for another bloody week? I don't do legs for another week, and then maybe by next Friday I'll be fresh. Is that where I'm up to now, right now? I need 2 weeks to recover from a 3x5 with 180. Albeit, it was out of the blue. I didn't really ease into it. But now that I think about it, even back during the period, it just got too much for me, man. A lot of you guys were saying, Ivan, do fortnightly. Why are you doing weekly? Why do 10 days? Do something. And one of the guys at work he was just mentioning it. He was like, dude, you're progressively lifting heavier and heavier. It only makes sense. You need more and more recovery. It's so amazing when somebody just says that to you, even though they might not be, so, knee deep into this like me, but it's logical, even logical for somebody that doesn't train every day like me. It's logical that as you progress further and further into something, it's going to be more and more taxing, especially physically, like something that I'm doing here. So maybe I should just forget about, trying to fit this into this nice little sexy 7-day period and go, all right, whatever it is, here is the menu. The menu is I need to do back. Well, shit, I was ready for back 2 days ago, but I didn't want to train back because I was kind of still, ramping up and resting for this leg day, which is supposed to happen today. Now it hasn't. So I've done leg day. So I've done back day. So what do I do tomorrow? Well, tomorrow, I could probably do leg day tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow morning, I might wake up and there's zero tightness, there's zero fatigue in the adductors. I could do leg day. But how do I do leg day? Do I just do my 3x5? Straight after 1 day of not feeling fatigued? Or do I just go, oh, you know what? I'll give it a skip another week. Because I can't do my single. That's the thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll feel good with the single. I really, really doubt it. I just pulled, something heavy in the deadlift. So I'm kind of out of tune with the deadlift as well. I don't know. Part of me is thinking to myself, just forget about it this whole week and do what Tom Platz was doing. Like in one of these videos that I was saying, Tom Platz was like fortnightly. Now, Tom Platz is not something I should compare myself to, because that's somebody that, is playing by different rules. He's got supplements, he's got this, that, the other, and also he's super, super advanced. I'm not at Tom Platz level, I'll never will be. And so, what do? I'm just thinking to myself, how fresh will I feel next Friday? I'll feel really, really good next Friday. I just feel like all of that fatigue would have been washed away. Okay, so I don't do a volume day on legs. I don't do a single on legs, on squats. I can do some, adductors and or I can do some hip work, prehab, rehab stuff. That would be really good. Or do I let them rest as well and do it on leg day next week? So many different things. And, this kind of goes back to what I was talking about the guy the other day. There's certain muscles in your body that can take the punishment much more frequently. Like tomorrow, I can do arms easily. I could do chest tomorrow easily. But adductors, right now, I'm thinking to myself, this has been now month and a half, right? Since the last PR, and during that last couple of weeks of that period, I was struggling with the frequency of 7 days. So now 40 days on, 40 or 50 days on, now I'm finding the same thing. I'm struggling to recover from it. So why don't I just extend it? So maybe I'll do the low bar squats once a fortnight and see how that goes. Because the whole point of this is stimulus. You have applied such a good stimulus that it is lasting a fortnight. Good for you. Like, why are you being unhappy with that? Great. Well done. Enjoy it. I need to learn how to do that. And this whole I want to get jacked idea, well, do the things that make you jacked. Do the back, do the chest, do the shoulders. I can do all of that this weekend. And don't worry about the adductors. Let them really recover. This is the thing, like when you fully finish the soreness part, are you recovered then 100%? Probably not. Probably give it another day or two and then you'll be feeling it. Well, another day or two, I'm now looking at Monday. Well, shit, might as well strap another couple of days and do it next Friday. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking at this point. As you're going through this stuff, as you're getting more and more experienced and more advanced, it's new area. Like I've never been able to be so sore for that long. Like, it's going to be more than 7 days now. It's crazy. But it's a new level. I've never been here. So it's a new environment and new rules. Enjoy it. Do other things. Do bicep curls, tricep extensions, do that stuff. So maybe if you really train legs that hard, you can bodybuild in between until the legs are tired again. And then you hit the powerlifting stuff again. I don't know. Food for thought. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.